Hello, good evening. Welcome to Camnet Television News. I'm Jeffrey Ziambo to present it. Our top stories in the news. Police accused of incompetence as PF presidential hopeful reports officers. Chinese investor compelled to adhere to safety measures. Court rules that bench warrant against NICKSON CHILANGWA is still in force. In international news, the European Union allocates Egypt $22 million to help manage influx of Sudanese fleeing war. And in sports, Copper Queens defender hails a Germany camp.
The Upusefia Bangwena Organizing Committee proudly present Legacy on the Greens, a prestigious golf tournament commemorating the 10th anniversary of Mwine Lubemba Chitimukulu Kanyantamanga II's reign. Join us as we tee off with Mwine Lubemba Chitimukulu Kanyantamanga II on the 23rd of June at the exquisite Bonanza Golf Course in Lusaka, Zambia, for a day of elegance, camaraderie, and regal competition. Legacy on the Greens, celebrating Mwine Lubemba Chitimukulu Kanyantamanga II's 10th anniversary on the throne. Don't miss this regal affair. Reserve your place today.
The FAR's 2022-2023 season is over, and the 2023-2024 season is around the corner. Camnet Stars Football Club, popularly known as the local national team, is looking for young talented football players from across Zambia, aged between 16 and 23 years old. Camnet soccer trials will be held on the 30th of June and the 1st of July 2023 in Lusaka at 09 hours. The venue is Kabulonga Boys Secondary School grounds. Your skills could earn you a place in the world of soccer greats in Zambia and the world. Camnet Stars Football Club, the local national team, is a team born for greatness with visionary players. Let us join hands and contribute to high levels of Zambian football standards. Don't miss these trials. The future of Zambian soccer is dependent on you. Make a date with us. Remember, you are born for greatness. See you there. Hello again, the news in detail. First Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Attractor Chisangano, has called on Parliament to lead the way in influencing the transformation of constituencies through planting trees. Speaking at Chikankata Day Secondary School Monday, where she flagged off a tree planting exercise, Ms. Chisangano says Parliament aims at planting 1,000 trees in all the 156 constituencies of the country as one way of fighting climate change. Meanwhile, Chieftainess Mwenda has called for more sensitization on the dangers of tree cutting. More in this report.
With the effects of climate change being more pronounced in Zambia through flash floods, droughts, and displacement of families, the National Assembly of Zambia says no one should be left behind in tree planting as climate change cuts across all sectors. Speaking at Chikankata Day Secondary School, where she led the way in tree planting Monday, First Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Attractor Chisangano, says the National Assembly is in this vein aiming at planting 1,000 trees each in all 156 constituencies of the country. She notes that the country has continued to be deforested, losing about 270,000 forest cover annually.
The drive to have greener societies is not peculiar to Zambia alone, but the entire world. Therefore, this initiative is also Parliament's contribution to the collective efforts of reversing the adverse effects of climate change within the region and globally. It is therefore my desire that all members of Parliament countrywide will spearhead the planting of trees in their respective constituencies. Further, I would like to call upon all the people of Zambia at large to take this initiative and plant trees.
On hand to receive her was Chikankata Member of Parliament Jacqueline Savao, who has challenged those schools to plant trees.
Trees play an essential role in mitigating the impact of climate change. The planting of these trees is very important as it contributes to the health of our lives. We need to preserve trees because they play a critical role in our lives. Trees are vital in providing the much needed oxygen for human life. Agriculture also depends on the availability of a green environment, which should be guided jealously.
Her Royal Highness Chieftainess Mwenda has also called for sensitization on climate change and tree planting.
Mutulegelele ba forestry ba mutu wa bula buya nokuba uthi nenkuni mbobuponi mbobumi tulabeleka andinwe.
Pupils at the school expressed gratitude on being taught about the importance of tree planting. Zipporah Mshala reporting for Camnet TV News.
Some residents in Lusaka's Mutendere area of Monali constituency have called on government to initiate a cleanup of bars and nightclubs near Mahatma Gandhi Combined School. The residents tell Camden News that the proximity of the bars to the schools is disturbing them, and in some cases, pupils engage in illicit beer drinking. Meanwhile, Area Councillor Boniface Chiveka says the illicit alcohol stores operating near the school are home-based stores and will face the law. Here's a report.
While schools are meant to be safe places for acquiring skills and knowledge, the case is different for pupils at Mahatma Gandhi Combined School in Lusaka's Mutendere Township in Monali constituency. The resident, who spoke on condition of anonymity for fear of being intimidated, say bars and nightclubs are a menace to the concentration of pupils. They explained that the existence of bars and nightclubs near the school premises is leading pupils into illicit beer drinking. They are calling on government to consider finding a lasting solution to the bars and nightclubs operating near the school.
Adena mabaa ebali chongo kabolo pa ground ya kama bavo vina shibana wose wazachoka mwasepwela mwaona so sifunika boloji issue ya mabaa pa school siri kunozona kozi wafana nango enesi wanvira machoka pana kwenda muhukumwa ku mabaa so this government maninga ganizirepo maybe my teachers mananga tinga carrying a weight maybe ndiangaendeka ni ku Ministry of Education complain nakuja timabaya at disturb school ndipo tinga kamba otherwise my powers yenyewe tiribe kuti tinga fundo pacho sapo basi magandi vazona mabaya ali pafupi na school bana sako nkoloka iyai so musepo chimozi wa government mabaya pafupi na school wakamboza bilimba ana schools now in class nishalira kai concentration iraga kuvela ponsa teacher mbombela pale wala bachuka ku mabazi ku mawinda yalipanja bana anga disturbs kai nango baka kolewa mbosha uta bambopundira pa mawindo so simuoneka bwana na mwana sanga se concentrate bino mzaa.
But Area Councillor Boniface Chiveka says the bars and nightclub owners are defying the law and is confident that a lasting solution will be found.
So those home shops are supposed to be closed, and if they have licenses, are supposed to be revoked. Then talking about a bar, the only bars I know there, I think there are about 3 bars. There's the Katumba, then we also have Lofa Bar and Maisen. Those bars have been there for a very long time. The only thing they need to do, or we need to ensure, is adherence to what the certificate, liquor certificate is talking about. That is no underage drinking and also opening and closing at a right time. That is what I would think is the...
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
A Chinese-owned construction company in 6 Miles area under Katua constituency has been compelled to implement safety measures to safeguard the community from dust following the Zambia Environmental Management Agency ZEMA's directive to do so. Speaking to Camnet News on Monday, Bai Gu Premix Concrete Company Limited Managing Director Liu Jinhua says the company has put up water sprinklers on the wall fence as a measure to help the dust settle. However, a community representative under Chunga Ward, Ezron Kabwela, says the community will only be satisfied if they build a warehouse where they will conduct their activities from. More in this report.
The residents of Chunga Ward in 6 Miles area of Katuba constituency recently rose up against a Chinese-owned company which they demanded closure of, stating that it was not following environmental protection laws. The residents accused Baogu Premix Concrete Company of releasing thick cement dust into the community, hence putting them in danger of respiratory illnesses. Also among their concerns was the wall fence, which they said collapsed occasionally, while further accusing the company of releasing flood water into the community during the rain season. The Zambia Environmental Management Agency, ZEMA, gave a directive for the company to halt operations until measures to protect the community are put in place. Monday, company managing director Liu Zhanghua told Camnet News that the company has begun putting up measures, among them water sprinklers on the wall fence to help the dust settle, while also putting up nets on the wall fence to trap the dust.
So they listened to what the community was complaining about, and then at the moment they stopped production. Yeah, they're not doing any activities at the moment because they want to eradicate this same problem. Where there's dust which is going overboard and affecting the community. So what they're doing, as you can see on the outside, we've started. Have you seen those pipes that have been erected? That's water that's been sprayed on the inside to avoid dust going on the outside. So we are apparently doing that.
Some community members are, however, unhappy with the measures, expressing doubt that they will yield any fruit.
Vamange steel structure, chinyumba chili covered, then chinkare na pipe so that dust izinyonkewa izienda mumwamba maningi. Not quite if mwameni wapangira hapa, so it won't help anything.
We hear these machines working, so we don't know what agreement they have with them. Clearly, because they're not complying. You see, even this what they are putting up, I don't think it's a solution. And if they want to put up a warehouse to be storing dirt, let them do it from the other side. There is too much land inside here. They can utilize the other side, not where people are living. So if they want to sit down with us, as we are willing, we can gather ourselves, let them come. We'll also give them our suggestions or opinions.
But if a suggestion here is to come but in fact this is the movement. So I'm assuming our person to Quinango, come with the one. Why cookies like a good band? Never met is so full. Could like to relocate somewhere.
It now remains for ZEMA to inspect the measures put in place once complete and determine whether the company should resume operations. Zipporah Mshala reporting for Camnet TV News.
Opposition Patriotic Front Vice Chairperson for Information and Publicity Emmanuel Mwamba has filed a complaint at Lusaka's Woodlands Police Station alleging brutality in the manner he was arrested on Wednesday, the 14th of June 2023 by police officers. Mr. Mwamba alleges that during the police operation to arrest him, he suffered a broken tooth, a bruise on his shoulders and some neck pains resulting from an alleged assault by the police. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga confirmed receiving the complaint letter. Meanwhile, civil rights activist Brebna Chengala alleges that the police is incompetent and that all arrests of political opponents are meant to intimidate them. Here's a report.
While those in authority call it the rule of law, government critics call it political witch hunt, and that is the discourse around Zambian politics. On Wednesday, 14th June 2023, police officers allegedly arrested Opposition Patriotic Front Vice Chairperson for Information and Publicity, Emmanuel Mwamba, at Lusaka's Emersdale Police Station, who was later transferred to Woodlands Police Station. While it is a job well done by the law enforcers, Emmanuel Mwamba has filed a complaint against 3 officers alleging that they assaulted him when effecting an arrest on him at Jamie's Car Wash on Mosotunya Road in Woodlands. While addressing the media yesterday, the former ambassador alleged that his rights were violated.
I hope that the police can investigate. I have medical reports here to confirm what was done to me, and you members of the press, I can show you. Tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to the Police and Public Complaints Commission for the unprofessional and brutal manner I was arrested. I'm not above the law. I can be summoned, I can comply. But I think it is wrong for the police to brutally treat citizens in the manner they treated me. To manufacture charges. You heard that a police officer who brutally beat me, knocked out my tooth. He was the first one to report a case of assault. This is cover-up. That's fraud. He should be arrested for fraud.
Meanwhile, police spokesperson Ray Hamonga confirmed receiving the complaint.
Woodlands Police Station on the 18th of June around 11 hours received a report from Mayor Emmanuel Mwamba. He was released on police bond on 16th of June 2023. Later on, to have come to Woodlands Police Station on 18th June 2023 around 11 hours with a police medical form allegedly to have been issued to him from University Teaching Hospital Police Post, which form he did not avail to the police as by law established, claiming that he needed to make copies of it. We are waiting for him to bring back the police medical form as by law required to further.
But civil rights activist Brebna Changala says all arrests of political opponents are well calculated and meant to ill-treat the opposition.
Why is it that only the opposition are always guilty, or only the opposition must be suspects, and the ruling party starts floating in glory? It is because of political interference. We have a police force that is highly politicized, a police force that is ill-trained, incompetent, a police force that...
Meanwhile, UPND spokesperson Cornelius Mwetwa says politicians should not play with the law as it is blind.
I have not seen my brother Emmanuel Mwamba, and I'll give him a call. So I can't comment on that, but if the police brutalized him, then the police are at fault. Because in Zambia, corporal punishment has been outlawed. No one is supposed to be brutalized by police. Probably because PF radicalized and weaponized police against its own citizens. That is why we still have remnants of some few isolated pockets of police brutality in this place. So it's not our fault. We do not arrest anyone as a party in government. We don't. It's police.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Lawyers representing former Kabushi area member of parliament Bowman Lusambo and his wife in a corruption-related charge have submitted before the Economic and Financial Crimes Court that they are not prophets nor possess superpowers to know that one of the accused would fall ill. This submission came after the Anti-Corruption Commission told the Lusaka magistrate Fides Hamaundu that Nancy Manasseh ought to have communicated earlier that she was sick and on 14 days of bed rest. This is in a matter in which Mr. Lusambo is jointly charged with his wife Manasseh and are facing 10 different corruption-related charges, among them corruptly acquiring a public property, being in possession of property suspected to be proceeds of crime, tax evasion and conspiracy to defraud. Here's a report.
The Lusaka's magistrate under the Specialized Economic and Financial Crimes Court has adjourned the case in which former Kabushi area member of parliament Bowman Lusambo is jointly charged with his wife in a corruption-related case. The court's decision to move the case to August 2023 is meant to allow Mr. Lusambo's wife Nancy Manasseh recover from an illness. In this case, the state accuses the couple of 10 different corruption-related charges, among them corruptly acquiring a public property, being in possession of property suspected to be proceeds of crime, conspiracy to defraud. Earlier, when the matter was called before Magistrate Fides Hamaundu, the accused defense lawyer James Tembo applied for an adjournment on the basis that the second accused person, Nancy Manasseh, is unwell and on a 2-week bed rest. This application, however, did not sit well with Daniel Ngwira, a senior prosecutor from the Anti-Corruption Commission, who told the court that the accused ought to have communicated earlier that she was sick and on a 14 days bed rest, arguing that justice should be applied on both the state and the accused, and as such, there need to be early communication to avoid unnecessary expense on the state, stating that they are the witness who traveled all the way from the Copper Belt. In responding to the state's concern, Mr. Tembo submitted that he was not a prophet nor possessed superpowers to know that one of his clients was to get sick. In this matter, Mr. Lusambo is facing all the 10 corruption charges, while his wife Nasi Manase is slapped with only 4 counts. The matter comes up on the 3rd and 4th of August for continuation of trial. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
A 36-year-old police officer has been dragged to court for allegedly stealing 6,000 kwacha, which was an exhibit. This is in a case in which Hazemba Chidama from Chawama Police Station is charged with 1 count of theft by public servant. It is alleged that between March 29th and April 5th, 2023, a woman identified as Beauty Makola, 26, of Woodlands area in Lusaka, complained that a known person stole her money equivalent to 6,600 kwacha. The said suspect was brought to the police station and she was detained and charged with theft. However, the suspect agreed with the complainant that she was going to be paying the money in installments. After some time, the suspect took 4,000 kwacha and the second installment of 2,600 kwacha to the police. The money was given to Constable Chidama, and after a few days, when Beauty went to the police station to ask for the money, she discovered that Officer Chidama misappropriated and used the money amounting to 6,600 kwacha, which was an exhibit. According to court records, Chidama had disappeared and switched off his phone. The matter stands adjourned. Lusaka Magistrate Amy Masoja has revoked the police bond on economic freedom fighters leader Kasonde Mwenda and 19 of his supporters. The magistrate directed that the accused will be detained until they provide 2 working sureties each, unlike relying on the surety who secured their police bond. The decision by the court comes after one of the accused failed to appear before the court and gave no reasons. Mr. Kasonde and his 19 supporters have since been remanded in custody. He is facing allegations of unlawful assembly and will take a plea on the 26th of June 2023. You're watching Camnet Television Main News. We'll take our first break. Join us for more news after the break.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
The FARS 2022-2023 season is over and the 2023-2024 season is around the corner. Camnet Stars Football Club, popularly known as the local national team, is looking for young talented football players from across Zambia, aged between 16 and 23 years old. Camnet soccer trials will be held on the 30th of June and the 1st of July 2023 in Lusaka at 09 hours. The venue is Kabulonga Boys Secondary School grounds. Your skills could earn you a place in the world of soccer greats in Zambia and the world. Camnet Stars Football Club, the local national team, is a team born for greatness with visionary players. Let us join hands and contribute to high levels of Zambian football standards. Don't miss these trials. The future of Zambian soccer is dependent on you. Make a date with us. Remember, you are born for greatness. See you there. Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. The Lusaka High Court has ruled that the bench warrant that was issued against Kawambwa Central Member of Parliament NICKSON CHILANGWA by the Kawambwa Magistrate Court remains in force until executed or cancelled, as per the provisions of Section 102, Cap 3 of the Criminal Procedure. This is in a matter in which Mr. Chilanga sued the state in the High Court, challenging Kawambwa Magistrate Martin Namushi's decision to issue a warrant of arrest against him. Further, the High Court ruled that trial before the lower court must proceed, as it cannot be stayed by it pending the determination of the petition. Mr. Chilangwa, who is also Patriotic Front Secretary General, was issued a bench warrant last week by the subordinate court for absconding 3 court sessions. More in this report.
Opposition Patriotic Front Deputy Secretary General NICKSON CHILANGWA faces arrest following the Lusaka High Court ruling that the bench warrant that was issued against him by the Kawambwa Magistrate Court remains in force until executed or cancelled, as per the provision of Section 1023 of the CP. On the 30th of May 2023, Mr. Chilangwa, who was unsatisfied that the lower court issued a bench warrant against him for absconding 3 court sessions, had rushed to the Lusaka High Court challenging Kawambwa Magistrate Martin Namushi's decision to issue a warrant of arrest against him. Mr. Chilangwa was seeking a declaration that the said decision violates his right to a fair trial in the matter. He had cited the Attorney General as the respondent and also wanted a declaration that the action of the subordinate court magistrate go against the rule of justice, among other claims. However, in the latest ruling delivered by the High Court, trial before the lower court will proceed, as it cannot be stayed by the High Court pending determination of the petition. The court has further established that the petitioner's application for an order to stay the warrant of arrest issued by the subordinate court on the 24th of May 2023 has failed and has been dismissed with cost. In the matter that is before the Kawambwa Magistrate Court, Mr. Chilangwa is jointly charged with Pambeshi Area Member of Parliament Ronald Chitotela, Kawambwa Mayor Chifumbi Kalumba, Kunda Chitotela, Chabu Chitotela, Devi Kaniki and Charity Chiwe, with 1 count of arson, threatening violence, malicious damage to property and 4 counts of assault. It is alleged that on August 12, 2021, the 2 lawmakers and 5 others, while acting together, assaulted 4 UPND members, damaged their motor vehicle, which was valued at a cost of 400,000 kwacha, before allegedly setting it ablaze, and further threatened violence. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Community Action Against Corruption, CASC, has requested the UPND government to clearly explain to Zambians how the money recovered from ministers who overstayed in office after Parliament was dissolved in 2016 was handled. CASC Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo says the money needs to be accounted for, just like the 65 million kwacha forfeited from Faith Musonda. Mr. Tembo says it is important for the citizens to know how the recovered money was spent.
We feel the UPND government should also help the Zambians understand how the money which was recovered from cabinet ministers who remained in office after Parliament was dissolved in 2016 was also used. I think it will be important for Zambians to also have to demand for documented evidence of how that money was spent by the people tasked to handle that money. So the Ministry of Finance should also present a documented evidence, because when we look at the 65 million kwacha forfeited from Faith Musonda and the recovered money, there is no difference there. It is just money coming in the same way. So expenditure of that money comes with questions. So we feel that money should also be accounted for in a manner people have demanded to know how the 65 million kwacha was used. We also want to know how that money which was recovered from those people was spent and which institution spent that money. I think that one will be important also.
The Pensions and Insurance Authority, PIA, has urged pension scheme trustees to be effective in handling pension schemes to ensure better outcomes for their members. PIA Acting Registrar and CEO Namakau Ntini says staying proactive is important as it will help them to be on board with changes surrounding pension schemes globally. She was speaking during the Pension Scheme Trustees Training Workshop in Lusaka Monday.
As you may all be aware, the pensions landscape globally has been undergoing significant changes, and so we have seen that there is a shift from the defined benefit schemes, where literally the risk was borne by the employer, to now the defined contribution schemes, where the performance or the risk performance has now been transferred to the members. And so it is therefore incumbent that trustees of pension schemes ensure that they have superior knowledge of their roles so that they can be able to deliver on their mandates. I think we've seen how there's been a shift in the pensions industry such that what we knew 5 years ago is not what is subsisting.
The Zambia Empowerment Hub for Entrepreneurship and Skills Training, ZEHEST, has called on the government to expedite the meeting with the Chinese government to restructure debt in the country. Recently, President Hakainde Hichilema disclosed that he will soon hold a meeting with the Chinese government to discuss how they can restructure and address the debt crisis in Zambia. ZEHEST Executive Director Clarence Muziamba underscored the need to ensure that the debt is alleviated as soon as possible to foster development in the country.
As Zambian Empowerment Hub for Entrepreneurship and Skills Training, ZEHEST, a think tank organization, we would love to congratulate His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema on his new assignment as COMESA chairperson. That is a welcome move, and we are wishing him God's blessings and love as he takes up the mantle of ensuring that there is peace, love and unity in our region as he takes over as COMESA chairperson. We also want to urge the president to use the position to unite Africa. As Africans, we have a lot of resources which we are not putting into good use. We want to remove all the trade barriers which are hindering us to trade with our other continents and within ourselves, because we know that if we trade amongst ourselves, then we are going to develop our countries and improve our economies. In the same vein, we also want to appreciate and encourage the president. We heard that he talked about the debt restructuring, meeting the Chinese president as a youth organization, ZEHEST, and as members of the Zambia CSO Debt Alliance. We want to encourage the president to meet everyone that we owe to ensure that our debt is restructured. Right now, as young people, we are feeling the impact of the debt crisis, in that we know that if we collect all the revenues.
The Zambia Network for Sickle Cell Amplified Voices and Advocacy has called for the need to have dedicated sickle cell wards in health facilities. Network chairperson Sylvia Mwansa says it will result in raising awareness about the ailment and prioritizing it in the allocation of funds. Mrs. Mwansa says it is important that sickle cell is prioritized in Zambia because many are affected. Meanwhile, Resident Doctors Association of Zambia Public Health Chairperson based at the University Teaching Hospital UTH, Dr. Namunji Matale, says statistics show that 1 in 5 of the country's population carries sickle cell genes. Dr. Matale has advised citizens to take up early screening for sickle cell seriously. This is Camnet Television News. We'll take our second and final break. Join us for international sports news after the break.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage. ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
The Ukusefya Bangwena Organizing Committee proudly present Legacy on the Greens, a prestigious golf tournament commemorating the 10th anniversary of Mwinelubemba Chitimukulu Kanyantamanga II's reign. Join us as we tee off with Mwinelubemba Chitimukulu Kanyantamanga II on the 23rd of June at the exquisite Bonanza Golf Course in Lusaka, Zambia, for a day of elegance, camaraderie, and regal competition. Legacy on the Greens, celebrating Mwinelubemba Chitimukulu Kanyantamanga II's 10th anniversary on the throne. Don't miss this regal affair. Reserve your place today.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Welcome back. Now in international news, Egypt's top diplomat met with a high representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy on Sunday, June 18. The officials talked, among other things, on strategic relations, economic partnership and close cooperation in the Mediterranean, and the Egyptian Foreign Ministry tweeted. The EU representative announced an allocation to back Egypt as it welcomes refugees from neighboring Sudan. Here's a roundup of international news for more.
Egypt's top diplomat met with the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy on Sunday. The officials talked, among other things, about close cooperation in the Mediterranean, the Egyptian Foreign Ministry said. The EU representative announced an allocation to back Egypt as it welcomes refugees from neighboring Sudan.
More than 200,000 people has been hosted in Egypt, and I have to thank you for that. And also that the European Union will provide an immediate assistance of 20 million euros to help you to address this new wave of Sudanese refugees on your southern border. I know it's not enough. I know you are going to pay much more, but at least let us to contribute a little bit in your support.
Egypt was promised to receive a little over $80 million for border management, search and rescue, and anti-smuggling operations. No European country is currently hosting the number of refugees that Egypt is hosting. However, we're doing this under the framework of our international commitment that we abide to, but also through the Egyptian historic stance in embracing and protecting our brothers. However, we need the continuity of assistance from our brothers in friendly countries, because at the end, it is a mutual interest. Egypt has become a destination state, and if things met with obstacles, it would turn again into a transit country. Shukri and Borrell's Cairo meeting took place after a deadly Greek migrant boat wreck.
6 days ahead of Sierra Leone's presidential election, supporters of the main opposition party, the All People's Congress, gathered in the capital Freetown on Sunday to protest against the country's economic situation.
Well, we then also today to support Dr. Samura Kamara because we tired with the austerity, we tired with the problem, the killing, the brutality, tribalism, nepotism, all kinds of things, no democracy, no freedom of speech. The people we sick and tired with everything.
I am a widow of 5 kids. You know, I'm concerned about the economy. When you go to the markets now, you buy a cup of rice for 5,000 euros. You buy a cup of gari for 5,000 euros. The country is just too tight. And we are not seeing any prospects that these things are coming down. Because the dollar inflation is very high. Everything is very high.
With 3 million people registered to go to the polls this week, the election is likely to be a tight race between incumbent President Julius Maada Bio and Samura Kamara, head of the All People's Congress Party.
We now have sports news. The Handball Association has declared the team ready for the forthcoming beach games to be held in Tunisia. Association President Walia Banda says this is the first time the team is participating in the beach games, but is optimistic that they will perform well. Mr. Banda says the team has put a lot in training, adding they recently came from South Africa where they had a training camp. He says the team, which leaves for Tunisia on Tuesday, is in high spirits. And one of the players, Chikatizia Banda, says he and the players have been motivated by the government's move to increase the winning bonus to 5,000 United States dollars.
We are here doing the final preparation of our senior men beach team, which will be competing in the 3rd African Beach Games to be held in Tunisia, starting on the 23rd to the 24th of June. I think so far so good. The team has been training. They were out in South Africa for beach training. They came back, and now we are just doing the final training, and they will be leaving Zambia on Tuesday.
The team is high morale, highly motivated. With that, the Honorable Minister Elvis Nkandu had announced a few days ago saying the winning bonus has been raised to 5,000 US dollars. So I'm sure we'll perform wonders in Tunisia. We are surely highly motivated and we're going to win.
And still in sports, Zambia national women's football team defender Margaret Belemo says the camp in Germany is helping the team to adequately prepare for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup starting on the 20th of July. Football Association of Zambia media team reports that Copper Queens coach Bruce Mape also expressed happiness that the team has improved. He says the involvement of technical advisor Lisa Core in the camping program has been instrumental.
Well, the camp is going quite well. The weather is okay. It's not that bad. It's not hot. It's not cold. And everyone is pushing during the training sessions. Yeah, we're working. We're having some sessions as defenders on how to make good lines, the balancing, and the good communication at the back. And it's going quite well. We played against Tanzania and we spotted out our mistake at the back, though we never had a lot of pressure, but still we cannot be relaxed to say since they were not attacking us. So yeah, it's important like defenders to coordinate well at the back. Yeah, we're very excited as a team, knowing that we're playing a good team than us. Ireland is well ranked, they're 22nd than us. So I feel it's going to prepare us well for the upcoming games that we were having. We'll be playing Switzerland after Ireland, then Germany. Then at least I feel it will prepare us well for the World Cup and for the friendlies that are coming. At least I have experience on how it will be, because it's not very easy like playing at the World Cup. The games, they are very tough and supporters come in numbers. Yeah, so I feel at least I have experience from the 2014 World Cup. I think I'll bring in the experience that I have to the supporters. I want to say thank you, that they should continue supporting us.
I think so far so good. The players are doing everything possible to make sure that the training is going well. And at the moment, we are just preparing for a friendly game against Ireland, which will be on the 22nd or 23rd of this month. So everything is okay. We have done tactics, techniques, and we are now doing the. Today we have just been doing our physical fitness, and everything. Every player did well, and we are. All I can say is that okay, even coordination now, there is an improvement. If you look at the way we played against Tanzania this time around, things have changed. There is a lot of improvement, and the coordination, I can say, is okay.
We wish the Copper Queens a very successful World Cup. To end, Camnet television main news, the headlines once again. Police accused of incompetence as PF presidential hopeful reports officers. Chinese investor compelled to adhere to safety measures. Court rules that bench warrant against NICKSON CHILANGWA is still in force. In international news, the European Union allocates Egypt $22 million to help manage influx of Sudanese fleeing war. In sports news, Copper Queens defender hails Germany camp. The Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Leviticus 19, verse 18. Do not take revenge or bear a grudge against members of your community, but love your neighbor as yourself. Thank you so much for watching Camnet Television Main News. I'm Jeffrey Ziambo. Bye-bye.